So lads, Caitlin Clark led the WNBA in All-Star voting. Obviously. I very much think that to an extent, this can really help revive the All-Star game.
Chicago is in a position to rebuild. Tyler Marsh is terrific.
Caitlin Clark received 1.3 million All-Star votes this year. The top 30 vote-getters in 2023? Let's talk about the data. Numbers don't lie, but they sure know how to rub salt in the wound. Clark's won. 3 million votes, that's a 600,000 vote leap from 2024. And Ree, while she undoubtedly has a loyal fan base, her stats and media presence haven't exactly skyrocketed in the same way. Fans were quick to point out the stark contrast between the two. Clark's meteoric rise in popularity isn't just about her on-court performance, it's about the brand she's become.
I think that is very much needed in basketball because, well, look, the All-Star game was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic the other day, or last year. Because, again, two teams went for it. Two teams absolutely went for it.
From record-breaking NCAA numbers to relentless marketing by Nike, she's everywhere. Ree, on the other hand, finds herself in a different spotlight. Yes, she's dominant. Yes, she's a champion. But her achievements often seem overshadowed by Clark's individual brilliance. It's a huge thing for the WNBA that she's out there getting 1.3 million votes. Because let's be honest, it's not just about what happens on the court. Some fans speculated that Reese's frustration wasn't entirely about basketball. Was it Clark's commercial success? Her undeniable media push? The way her name seems to roll off the tongue of every sports anchor in America? Whatever the reason, the numbers made one thing clear. Clark was pulling ahead and Reese was feeling the sting.
Yeah, it is what it is. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Caitlin Clark should be an All-Star? I think that it's very, very difficult for it to say.
Just being able to know this team. When somebody goes down, we've seen it before. Slipping down, like being able to have Milos and everybody just coming together and wanting to win. So here's where things get even more intriguing. Reese didn't come out swinging with a public statement or fiery interview. Instead, she let a single cryptic tweet do the talking. Sometimes it feels like no matter what you do, it's never enough. Posted on June 30th, 2025. The tweet was simple, raw, and left everyone guessing. Was it about Clark, the All-Star captaincy, the media frenzy? Reese didn't elaborate, but fans sure did. Within minutes, her words were dissected, debated, and turned into think pieces. Some saw it as a cry for recognition. Others saw it as a subtle jab at the league's obsession with Clark. It's understandable. It ain't gonna happen the way we like it. It's unfair and it's wrong. We are aligned in that. At its core, this isn't just about two players. It's about the stories we tell in sports, the narratives that are built, the rivalries that are amplified.
In Kelsey Plum, I mean this when I say this, Caitlin Clark has won more games than Kelsey Plum on the floor. I think maybe you could make an argument that Kelsey Plum has, that Kelsey Mitchell, because she's played more games, but clearly when they play, the best player on the teams.
And the people who get caught in the crossfire. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are both extraordinary athletes, but the way their journeys are framed couldn't be more different. And just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role. And I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, for Ree, this moment is a crossroads. Does she let the media's portrayal of her define her? Or does she channel this frustration into something even bigger? And for Clark, the challenge will be navigating the growing spotlight without losing sight of what got her there in the first place. The media might love a good rivalry, but for Reese and Clark, this isn't just about clicks or engagement. It's about legacy. Clark, true to form, stayed composed. No outbursts, no dramatics. Just a slight smile that said, game recognizes game. That single exchange didn't just define the match, it defined their rivalry. Reese's confidence and Clark's composure became symbolic of their contrasting styles. And fans, they were hooked. Team Ree and Team Clark were born, and the battle lines were drawn.
That's Caitlin Clark got voted in as a team captain. She was officially voted in as a team captain for the WNBA All-Star game. She was always going to lead. She was always going to lead the W in All-Star voting.
I think there's a very strong argument that she deserves it. I think you can make an argument that she doesn't, in good faith, but I think there's a very strong argument that she does. She has earned it. Fast forward to today, and that rivalry has taken on a life of its own. It's not just about basketball anymore. It's about two paths to greatness, and how the spotlight seems to shine a little brighter on one. Clark's rise, bolstered by record-breaking votes and endless media love, feels unstoppable. Reese, despite her championship pedigree, finds herself fighting for recognition. And that tension, it's palpable.
What I know and from what I've seen on multiple reports, including Scott Agnes, who is like one of the main reporters for the Pacers and the Indiana Fever, nothing happened during that game. There were no fans that were approached. There were no players who called out certain fans. There weren't other...
It is not guaranteed to extend to the rest of this putrid league. No one is loyal to the dump. No one cares about the WNBA. Reese's emotional reaction to the All-Star announcement has sparked debates that go far beyond the court. People are asking tough questions about mental health, media pressure, and the weight of expectations. Can we blame Reese for feeling the way she does? The girl is a champion, a leader, a face of the sport, and yet she's constantly compared to Clark as if her accomplishments exist only in Clark's shadow. Here's the big question. What does this moment do to Reese? Does it light a fire under her, pushing her to elevate her game and remind everyone why she's a star? Or does it deepen the divide, making the Clark-Reese rivalry even more pronounced? And
WNBA saw things that people were saying on Twitter that ended up being lies, because now, and I can say that with full conviction, because now we have seen a million angles of what they were talking about.
2 NBA referees simply playing against Caitlin Clark, and a Fever new footage has come out. Ref not call, this is a foul. Okay, this is a foul. Seattle Storm player just got exposed after she brutally attacked Caitlin Clark, making her unhealed groin injury even worse when the only star in your league is constantly on the bench. Fans were already furious, seeing Clark's leg taped for weeks with no action. But as always, the WNBA stayed silent, milked her fame, and left her to fight alone. This is another year and another case of WNBA referees not making the right calls when it come to Caitlin Clark. I mean, I thought I'd seen the WNBA sink to new lows before, but the Seattle Storm game, yeah, that's a different level of pathetic. Once again, the league's golden ticket, the one player literally carrying this entire league on her back. Caitlin Clark gets targeted right in the middle of the game, obviously being fouled right in the first quarter. Caitlin Clark obviously being fouled, and who's at the center of it this time? None other than Easy Mager, the Storm's so-called defensive star. Yeah, defensive star. If by defense you mean wrapping up players like it's WWE mid-drive clear as day, Easy McGeegor hooks her arm across Clark's midsection like she's auditioning for a chokehold. The referee is literally right there, like, bro, you're right there. I don't know, man. Obviously being fouled, the refs don't call it how, and then wonder what the ref's standing there like a statue. I mean, the man is practically breathing on them, eyes glued to the play, and still no call. Let that sink in. You got a 6'4" center basically mugging the most talked about player in women's basketball, and the officials just let it slide like it's part of the plan. Foul on the Fever. How look at this, but look at this. That's not a foul on the Storm. But then here we go. And it's not just the fans losing their minds over this. The entire internet saw it, viral clips popping up everywhere, people pointing out exactly how rigged this is starting to look. But where's Kathy Angelbert? You know, the WNBA commissioner nowhere. The woman disappears every time this happens, like she's got a strict ignore controversy policy in place. One of the worst missed calls I think I've ever seen in basketball. No press statements, no league-wide announcements, nothing. I mean, God forbid the league show they actually care about protecting the one player, keeping them relevant. They want the Caitlin Clark effect. They want the sold-out arenas, the record-breaking TV ratings, the merch flying off shelves. But when it comes to standing up for her when she's getting assaulted on live television, radio silence, Caitlin is boxed off, Caitlin Clark is the star, everything else is wrapped around her, and everything else is revolving around her. Let's not forget Pow Pow, yeah, Tina Pow Pow. Out there playing full contact defense like it's rugby spotted more than once, laying hands on Clark, getting physical in ways that would make any official with 2 eyes blow the whistle. But of course, same pattern, no calls, no consequences, nothing but crickets from the refs. Meanwhile, Clark's out here, being the Rookie of the Year, front runner, the face of the league, and still treated like some bench warmer. Honestly, at this point, it's a joke, and if you actually go frame by frame, you can see that Pow Pow had 2 hands on Caitlin. It wasn't just a one-hand hand check. She was kind of grabbing her with 2 hands, but don't sit there thinking this was a one-time incident either. This has been happening all season long. This league is starting to feel like they've got a personal agenda. Against Clark game after game, the elbows come flying, the body checks get harder, defenders grabbing jerseys like they're shopping for fabric. And every time the refs act like they left their whistles at home, it's not an accident anymore. Even though Angel Reese was playing the same Angel Reese that the mainstream media keeps telling us is a huge star. This is a full-blown pattern. You got TikToks and viral videos exposing the side-by-side comparisons. Clark getting slammed with 0 calls, while players on the other side get fouls for breathing too close to their opponent. And Sophie Cunningham, she's probably the only one who's fed up enough to call this mess out. For what it is, she's been slapped with more phantom fouls than anyone hands in the air, not even touching anyone. And bam, foul called. People want to get mad when Sophie Cunningham pretty much did what she did. If the referees ain't gonna do it, somebody gotta do something right. But Clark gets bounced around like a pinball machine and it's just business as usual. Even Fever coach Stephanie White had to admit Clark's under fire every single night with no backup from the officials, but the league, pretending like it's all just part of the game, they call a foul on Sophie Cunningham for doing absolutely nothing dauntish, just her hands in the air. Another foul touch, foul touch, foul touch, foul. And here's the part that really fries my brain. Let's talk numbers.